Hey guys, welcome to another video. So you probably can tell based on the angle of view that I have the camera sitting on the tripod, the Bluetooth tripod by Fuji. You guys know from a previous video that I've had this for a little while working with my other cameras. And yes, it has got the X-S20 sitting on it. So you probably figured as much, but I did trade in some gear along with my X-S10 and got this camera. And I picked it up actually yesterday, and today I've already been out running it through its paces, getting a feel from the camera, learning the camera, because it is a little bit different, in some cases a lot different than the X-S10, and I definitely need to get my bearings, if you will, down on this camera as I plan to use it as my main vlogging camera for this YouTube channel as well as for travel. And be able to use it when I don't want to use my more expensive XH2 to do things, especially on a personal note. So with that, probably going to do a number of things throughout this weekend. I'm not going to try to cram it all onto one video. Probably going to do maybe I don't know, we'll see, 2 videos. So that I can be able to show you guys how I plan on using this, and also test this camera out, give it its initial run through and see exactly what I need to get more comfortable with. So with that, we're gonna go ahead and get into this first one with me going out today and using this camera and my thoughts on the camera from using it today. So as you guys can see, I have the... Okay, so we're gonna start the record button on this. As you guys can see, I'm out at a metro park, one of my favorites, over at the nature center, where I can capture some variety of birds, from herons to cranes to variety of hawks to even if I'm lucky, an eagle. Wanted to bring out the X-S20 out and start getting it through its paces, showing you guys how I plan to use this camera, not just for my YouTube vlog stuff like I'm doing now, and as you can see from the GoPro that I have going back at this, that I have the tripod on there, and I want to be able to show you guys how I plan to use this camera for travel. Right now I have the 10 to 14 lens on here, which has optical stabilization. I have IBIS going with optical stabilization. So you guys let me know what you think about it as I walk. Also, I brought with me the 70 to 300, the teleconverter 1.4, and the 18, excuse me, the 55. So those would be the 3 lenses that I could see myself using a lot with this setup. Yeah, I can use some primes, but I feel that I'm going to get the best, if you will, versatility, functionality, use out of this camera and the things I plan on doing with those 3 lenses. So while we're here, we're going to go ahead and put the 70 to 300 on, get some video, get some images, and show you guys how, again, I plan on using this camera and how you may want to use it for your travels. If I was to go to a prime, and I'll end it with that, I would say I would want a wide prime, a standard size, and that's probably about it. So I could see using the 56 on here. I could see using the 33. I could see using from 56 all the way down to the 16 on here. Yeah, you can use a new 8 on here if you're doing some things, and you saw me guys use it at the Camera Mall event, but I'm not that wide of a shooter. So there you go. Let's get to getting some stuff on here with the 70 to 300 now. What I will say is I like how I can use the compensation button while the video is going and brighten up the scene like I just did there. That's awesome.
if it focuses. There we go. And I got bird detect on, but it wants to detect the tree. Let me zoom all the way in. Sorry for the blurriness, guys. And there we go. The bird detect zoomed right in on the bird. Focus is there. Awesome. Little bright, so let me turn down the exposure comp, and that looks fantastic. I definitely like how the tripod is holding this camera with the 70 to 300 and teleconverter attached. Very sturdy, very strong. So that gives me a lot more confidence in using this setup, definitely when traveling as well. Now, as you can see, I have my wrist strap on. I'm not that crazy being next to this water. So I can't say that I'm like other YouTubers in that instance though. I will apologize right away. I picked probably the hottest part of the day, and it is already almost 90 out here. So I probably won't have a whole lot of bird activity, but I'll see what I can get. Okay guys, well, where I'm at right now is trying to see where I'm gonna go next. It is a little slow right now. It is about high noon or just past noon, and it's 85-ish degrees. The birds are pretty much settled in for right now, the ones that are here. But as I look into what I want to do with this camera, again, as you can see here, my setup for vlogging. I'm using a Hollyland setup right now. I think the audio is pretty good for it, for what I want to do and the level I'm at from YouTube stuff and vlogging. As you can see from me holding this, it's got some weight. It's going to have that. I mean, your arm is fully extended, but I like how with the 10 to 14, I can come in a little wider and go out a little wider and give you guys different perspectives, giving my arm a little rest. I do like the lens setup that I have with this camera. I like the fact that all three of the lenses that I plan on using have OIS, which is optical image stabilization, so they will pair nicely with this camera and its IBIS. I actually have it on that setting. I like the fact that the tripod is working pretty good with this. The functionality of it is working excellent with this. It connects right up once you pair it the first time, and it did that with the other cameras I have. And let's change that perspective. A little dark there, but it's following me. As you guys saw me use earlier, I did use the bird detect, and it locked right on very nicely. I think, honestly, faster than it would have if it was the XH2. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Had to get the spider off me. Okay, well, I'm going to wrap up right now because the battery is almost dead. Based on time, and I'll switch this here looking at the watch. I say I got an hour and a half of heavy use of this, really kind of doing the video, walking around, getting images. But the battery wasn't already full. I say it was probably 50% full. So that's actually pretty nice to see that this thing is doing a great job with the new battery. So I'm pretty excited about that. I'm also excited about the fact that I was able to go almost 2 hours in this heat and not see the heat warning sign come on. I'm currently filming in 6.2K, so I'm using a full width of the sensor. This is a lot more intense than I thought it was going to be for this camera as far as my use. So this camera definitely is above and beyond my expectations right now, but I'm gonna still put it through its paces. I'll get back to the car, see what I'm going to do for the rest of the day with all the activities I have, see when I can get back out more this weekend, get some more stuff going, and be able to again show you guys how I plan on using this camera and how it did for me, or is doing for me, while I'm out here getting all of this pretty much knowledge, if you will, information on the camera, so I know how to use it and what to expect when it counts. So with that, we'll go ahead and keep getting some content, keep testing this camera.